Hello again, VC. Dan here. Welcome back to Vinyl Fury. It's been a while again. I apologize for that. I've ended up collecting a few records since the last time I did this, and I have a few to show today. I'm attempting to do this with my iPad. I've never done that before, but it seems like the simplest way to do this. I don't know if it's as good a picture as my iPhone, which I've been using the last few videos, but we're going to give it a shot, because one of the reasons I hardly ever do this is because it's my own fault, but I make it hard because I use several different things. I use a separate audio recorder, which I use for my podcasts. I set up my phone on a tripod to do it, and I have a separate light that I set up. I mean, it's all my own fault, but I like to make these as good as I can, but it's just a pain in the ass, really. So hopefully this simpler setup will be easier, and I can do this more often. So before I show the records, I did want to give you an update on my band, which I've talked about a few times. Madam Officer. Our EP is done and it's out there, which is great. I'm so relieved that the music is finally available. It turned out really well, especially for how we did it. We recorded it at a pretty leisurely pace as we could with our friend who did it for next to nothing. Just kind of as an experiment for him and his recording equipment. I think he did a great job. He mixed it as well, which I think he did a great job also. And we had our good friend Chris Crummett master it. And he's a professional producer, engineer, mastering engineer. He does a lot of great work. You've probably heard of the bands that he's worked with in the past, but since he's such a good friend, he gave us a really great rate, and he mastered the hell out of it. He made it sound much better than we could have imagined. So, really stoked on that. It is available digitally. madamofficer.bandcamp.com. Put that here. You can pay whatever you want. You can pay nothing. It doesn't matter. We just want people to have it. And with Bandcamp, you can download in FLAC or MP3 or AAC, several different formats of your choosing. It all costs the same. And I believe you can download in more than one format once you pay for it, or once you pay nothing for it even. As long as you access the download, it's your choice. It comes with digital liner notes that I created that have lyrics and everything. So it's all there, and I'd be pleased if you listened to it, checked it out. It's hard for me to describe our sound, which is not a bad thing, but it's just, between us, we're such a melting pot of influences and styles. But if I had to take a quick shot at it, I would say maybe A Perfect Circle with a bit of the Cranberries, because we have a female singer. That's kind of where it lies most of the time. It's alternative indie rock. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. You know, we have 4 songs on this EP, but we have over a dozen songs written now. We keep writing more. And we haven't said anything officially yet, but we are planning to do a 7-inch single release, hopefully in the summer. This is very preliminary plans, but the idea is to have a single and a B-side, put it on vinyl, and have a few more songs out there. So even though we have enough material for a full length, I think we want to kind of keep the pace a little tighter. Just have a set of songs here and not wait a year and a half before we have something else. So, and then after that, probably do another EP, maybe later in the year or early next year. Just keep material coming, and we'll see where this goes. We've done some local radio and TV so far. We're going to be reaching out to music blogs and stuff like that to see where we can take this thing. I did come up with a way to make some CDs. I custom ordered some stamps Got some of those recycled paper cardboard CD cases and blank white CDs to also stamp. So this is the package that I designed. Here's the cover, the Madam Officer stamp. I also ordered a stamp for the track list that I put on the back. Opens up, there's the CD, also with the name and the track list. There's also the liner notes in there, as well as a business card that I designed and had made up with all our vinyl information on the back. We have a bunch of those that we'll be giving out. So yeah, very excited to finally have this EP out in the world, and there'll be more to come. So yeah, please do check it out. If you want one of these CDs, we're only making about 100 of these at this point. Plus I have some extra and a little bit different packaging to give away as promo and stuff. But if you do want one of these, I'd be happy to send you one, for postage or whatever, packaging. Just email me. I'll leave my email. It's vinylfury@gmail.com, and we'll work something out. And yeah, there you go. I mentioned I use this recorder for the podcast. It's going great. We're still making episodes. I'm currently editing our next episode, episode 12. It's kind of a large production. We did a bunch of interviews for it. The subject is online dating. So we talked to a bunch of people about their experiences and opinions, all that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff to cut together. But it's going to sound really good. We also got some new microphones, and we're just kind of stepping everything up as we go. And that's still a lot of fun to do. Anyway, here we are in the vinyl community. We talk about vinyl records. Let's get to that. Usually I don't like to make these videos very long, but I haven't been here in a while, so I'm just gonna take as long as it takes to get through this stuff. So, first, the new D'Angelo record. D'Angelo and the Vanguard, Black Messiah, finally came out on vinyl just the other day. Went out and picked it up. I've never been a huge D'Angelo fan. I remember when his first record came out. I was very young. But I still kind of dug it. I just didn't really get into it. And I know people really hold his talent in high regard, and they've been waiting for a new album for a long time. So when this came out, and there was such a hype around it, I was definitely interested, and it's a fantastic record. I would say that it even stands on its own as its own type of music. It's really interesting. It's very well recorded, produced, performed. It's jazz and R&B and soul and funk, all kinds of stuff. And it's just really, really good. It is a double LP, gatefold. It's like 140 gram vinyl or so, and really nice black sleeves. The vinyl looks, I don't know for sure, but it looks like it's pressed at RTI, which is nice. It's a pretty quiet, good sounding pressing, which is always nice to find. It also has a full, I think it's like 8-page booklet with lyrics and whatnot inside, which is nice. Yeah, definitely worth getting on vinyl. It's pretty fairly priced too. I saw it on Amazon for like $18. And record stores I saw it for about $22. Totally worth it. Awesome album. Now this one I've been waiting a long time for. Ever since I started collecting. I wanted an original pressing of this. Super hard to find. Very expensive. Finally reissued by, again, Shop Radiocast. They've been kind of reissuing everything on my wish list, which is fantastic. Silverchair, Neon Ballroom, their third album, 1999. Perfect time for me. I was 16 years old, and from their first album, these guys have always really inspired me musically because they were around my age and making just fantastic music, and they just got better and better. And this was definitely no exception. This is a fantastic record. 19 when they recorded this, and you would never tell. I mean, it still holds up. It's just such a really well-written, well-rounded record. Just amazing work. It is a double LP, thankfully. My copy is black vinyl. There's 500 of these, 180 gram. They also did pink and blue. So the pink is kind of this neon pink, it's translucent. And the other record has the blue neon, which is also, I think, what the other blue color looks like. So the lacquers were cut by Kevin Gray, who I've enjoyed his work quite a bit. And the credits say that the lacquers were made at RTI. I don't think it was actually pressed at RTI, but it's pretty well done, as Shop Radiocast has been doing a pretty good job these days. And definitely sounds better than the music on vinyl pressing that I had and sent back because I was just completely underwhelmed. This is much better. I kind of find myself wishing I had a mid-range knob on my amp because it was a little strong in the mid-range. Kind of sometimes just it felt too much, and I wish I could turn it down. But overall, pretty good. It definitely sounds not compressed. It definitely has a dynamic range to it and a separation I don't really feel like I heard before. Almost like they had an unmastered source that kind of opened it up a bit. Really, really glad to have it on vinyl. Again, SRC's prices could be less. I wish they were. I know that there's licensing fees and stuff, but it's about $32 plus shipping. But I had to have it. It's one of my favorite records of all time and just really has a special place in my heart. So really happy to have it on vinyl. And around the same time that was announced, their second album, Freak Show, was as well, but for some reason that came out first. But I think I read recently that the Freak Show test pressing had been approved. So very much looking forward to getting that as well. So I had put off getting this because it was just way too expensive when it came out. Soundgarden, Super Unknown. This was about $50 when it was first released in this remastered 20th anniversary version. But on Soundstage Direct, it was about 30 or 35, which was much more reasonable, and I had a coupon, so it ended up being, I think, a little under 30. Then I saw it at the record store the other day for $27.99. So finally it's come down in price. I guess they've realized that they weren't going to sell as many copies if it was $50. I definitely wasn't going to buy it at that price. But I really wanted it. I've wanted an original for a long time. And I tried to get one before on eBay and stuff. And just haven't gotten it for a decent enough price. The remaster does suffer from that modern overcompression, limiting. It really didn't need much done to it. I think the original production is quite good. I wish that there was just a remastered version for vinyl from the original master. But, that's what record companies want to do these days. This is the inside of the gatefold. It's a pretty nice gatefold. The other thing about it, it's not worth $50. There's nothing about it that makes it worth $50. It is a 200 gram pressing from Quality Records, but honestly, I haven't been overly impressed with their work so far. There's usually something not, perfect about it. There is a nice booklet inside with photos, lyrics, which is nice. It is nice thick vinyl, and it looks nice. I mean, they definitely use virgin vinyl and everything, but one side I could tell was just a little off center. Thankfully, with this kind of music, it's not really that noticeable. But again, $25 to $30, worth it for this album. I mean, obviously it's a fantastic record front to back, but $50 is just too much. So I was glad to find a reasonable price for it. However, I will say I have listened to high resolution digital files of the remaster before, and the vinyl doesn't sound really that much better. They say it's remastered from the original analog tapes, so I don't know why they went through the process of mastering it like a modern record. I just don't think that was the right way to go. But there you have it. If you love the record and you want it on vinyl, and you can find it for less than $30, sure. But getting like the FLAC or the high-res HD downloads and making your own DVD of it or something might be good enough. I don't know. But I was pleased to find it at a cheap price. Man, I've already been going for a while. I can really ramble. Let's get a little bit quicker pace here. Tribe Called Quest, their first album, People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm, 1990. Needed this to round out my collection. I think they put out an album like 2000, which I don't have. But I definitely needed to get this. But one side is pretty noisy. Otherwise, sounds pretty good. But again, I was looking for a decent price on this and finally found it. So nice to put that in the collection. So the third full-length album from post-rock metal titans ISIS was recently remastered for vinyl. Panopticon is the album, came out in 2004. And I have an earlier pressing, which is good. It had a little bit of a, I don't know what is on it. It's like some kind of, I guess you'd just call it gunk, little spot that made some noise. It's a really cool looking pressing and everything. But I took the opportunity to get this new remaster in it, and it's remastered quite well. It's a really thick cardboard jacket. The artwork is the same, I believe, as it was on that other pressing, but a little bit darker for some reason, but it's also a glossy cover. Very thick. I love that. Robotic Empire did this. They always do really, really nice vinyl pressings. Printed inner sleeves. One record is clear vinyl. Very nice. And the other is a really sweet looking clear orange vinyl. I love the way this turned out. Very nice. Okay, just a couple more. This album came out a couple of years ago, but I only really got familiar with it recently. Their group is called Rhye, and the album's called Woman. And the first track, Open, is, I believe, the first single and the song that I really heard that got my attention. And the vocalist is a man, but he has a feminine quality to his voice that I'm sure a lot of people mistake him for a woman. He has actually a very similar quality to Sade, who is a woman, but kind of has a masculine tone to her voice at times. Kind of a unisex sound, which is interesting. But I love her voice, and I love this guy's voice. It's like, I guess like an indie R&B type sound. I really like it, and it was fairly inexpensive to get on vinyl, and it sounds pretty good. Standard black vinyl, the white and black printed inner sleeve. Check out that track, Open. It's great. And lastly, the self-titled second album from the all-girl indie rock kind of dream pop band Warpaint, which I got at Urban Outfitters on clearance for like $10, which is a great price. It's a double LP in a gatefold. Printed inner sleeves with lyrics and pictures of all the members. Pretty well done pressing, rough trade. If I remember correctly, there was a few spots that were a little hot, but otherwise a pretty good sounding album. And not one that I would have paid $20-25 for, but for $10 I was all over it. And Madam Officer being a band with a female singer, I think we kind of would like to emulate this kind of vibe a little bit, so we kind of look up to this group. Definitely a steal for $10. Maybe check out Urban Outfitters, see if you can find it too. I also got another copy of Mogwai's Rave Tapes, their last album, for $10. It's the black pressing. Originally I got the loser edition, green vinyl, but it was a little bit warped, so I got that pressing for $10 to kind of be the player copy, which was nice. Okay, that's got to be it for now. I do have a few more records to show. I actually have a record that I'm not even really supposed to have. It hasn't come out yet on vinyl, but it's awesome, and I can't wait to show it. I'll probably do that next time, whenever that is. But until then, of course, thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy your music.
I'm a fool for your love. I wanna make this play.